out of the 23 films in the Infinity Saga, Black Panther is one of the strongest. I'm 50% sure that for the majority of fans, that this is in their top 5 or at least in their top 10 of best MCU films. Directed by Ryan Coogler, coming off of Creed and Fruitvale Station, and both of them having Michael B. Jordan in them as well, shows that he can do amazing things with a story. That and with a strong and badass introduction to the character Black Panther. I can imagine that there was a lot of pressure to piggyback off of what was done in Captain America Civil War to do the character justice, since this was to be the first Black Panther and African American led MCU film. And with pressure, diamonds can be made. And this was. Now, this is about T'Challa, assuming the throne of king and the mantle of Black Panther after the death of his father, and must learn what it means to be a leader of a nation, which includes the throne and the Black Panther cowl. Now I can admit that before I saw this, I was fearful of people saying that this was great, when it's not, because it's the first Black-led MCU film, and kind of the first one on this type of scale. I'm glad I was wrong, because there is so much to love about it. From the emotion and social commentary, character story, costume design, and ideas and concepts. And going into the characters, they're great. Boseman is great as T'Challa and what they were going for. And had he not passed away, I feel that more time spent with the character, he would have felt more comfortably in the character. And that's not holding anything against his performance in the role. But I look at like Evans to Cap and Hemsworth to Thor, with them fitting good in their roles, but getting better and more comfortable as the years went by. And to add to these stellar performances from a phenomenal cast in Wright, Nwango, Guerrero, Duke, Bassett, Kalua, Jordan. I mean, just name an actor in there. No matter how big or small the role is, adds to the collective on screen. Whether it's Wright bringing a comedic aspect to the film, showcasing her charismatic personality through the character of Shuri, Nwango as Nakia, with not only being the love interest of T'Challa, but a strong warrior with a great motivation in how she moves. Guerrero making Okoye very likable, and a respectable character by personality, and her loyalty in her job, as well as bringing some light humor. Winston Duke as M'Baku is great, and he brings the humor as well, along with showing two sides to the character, from the first introduction being serious and threatening, to later where he's revealed to have a kinder side that's misunderstood by the other Wakandans. Andy Serkis is amazing as Claw, one of the standouts and best parts whenever he's on screen. He is highly entertaining in his role, even though he's just in like the first and second act, and is killed off for whatever reason. He is enjoyable in every aspect, and Serkis just kills it. And that's why I feel like he really should not have been killed off halfway through the movie, because he could have been a major and ongoing great villain in the MCU for years to come. I mean, the potential and opportunities were endless, and what he could have been as far as a phenomenal character goes. Because like, honestly, I could still see him being used in today's MCU, because what they're doing right now, he is really needed. And I can see him being on par with Thanos, Loki, and even Killmonger. Just a missed opportunity. But speaking of Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan, to me, is the major standout and best character in the film. Like, you know when you're doing something when your performance as the villain is outstaging the main character. Because Jordan knocks it out the park, delivering a phenomenal performance for the ages. A reasonably heavy, motivated character that is kind of justified in his thinking, but just goes about it the wrong way. And that ideology is great when it comes to being a challenge for T'Challa. Like, not just physically, but mentally, as it affects the future of Wakanda as a nation even after his death. An incredible foe in every sense. Having a face-off between him and T'Challa hold our investment. The lines delivered are powerful. His presence is very intimidating. He has a great introduction and end, and leaves a nice lasting impression amongst the best in the MCU as a whole. And to a smaller extent, the rest of the cast do their thing as well, leaving no shortage of dope talent on the table, which makes their chemistry with each other on screen work so incredibly. But all of this has helped a lot due to the writing of the characters. Coogler shows off his skill in crafting them individually and as an ensemble, carefully balancing out the characters. This film is beautifully shot. The choreography is nicely captured and displayed. I love the look of Wakanda, from the costume design and the array of colors that make everything feel more lively. scene. And the working world around it with the whole set design and its technological makeup with the use of vibranium and everything. And the story is gold. But I probably may have been the only one to notice this. Maybe, probably, I don't know. But the story is very closely similar to the first Thor movie. Like, two relatives fight for the throne. The father figure is helpless to provide order during this time. The rightful heir to the throne is put out for a period of time, while the other has nefarious plans for his rule as temporary king. And the rightful king comes back and defeats him in the end. Now, there are some differences, but essentially, it's similar in a lot of ways. But I don't look at that as a negative. Just something I found that was worth mentioning. But I love all the things that the film deals with, like I said earlier. The social commentary is utilized in great effect and puts into question the ideals of Wakanda as it pertains to handling their power in the world. Like, if you have the resources to be able to help and provide aid that can change the world for the better, is the obligation yours to execute, knowing that there are pros and cons to it. And I love the internal conflict that they as a nation are forced to deal with after Killmonger introduces the idea. And the action is crazy, shot well, and the fights look good, all choreographed nicely. And the music works, whether it's the score or the songs from the soundtrack. They just add more to the film. The CG is great for the most part, except for that final fight between Black Panther and Killmonger at the end, which I think that it was due to them not having enough time to render it before the movie's debut. And there are other instances like that, but not that bad. And this film has several deep and in-depth moments that stand out in the best way, like Killmonger talking to his dad and like just other scenes that you could just randomly pick from there. And so, at the end of the day, this was just simply a great film. You could tell that Brian Coogler worked really hard in putting this together, and it really showed. So yeah, man, this is a great movie. Like leagues better than Wakanda Forever. And so with that said, that has been my review of the original Black Panther. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe if you're not, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this. And I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, stay safe, and Wakanda Forever.